Hello, Prairie Dawgs, baby. Thanks for checking out another episode.
Episode 8. We
got
talking pedal pubs today.
Pedal pubs. We are talking about road karma, sweet road justice.
Talking about harsh noise music. It is music.
And then the story of the young man from Point Douglas that inspired James Bond.
Crazy.
It starts now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
the Prairie Dawgs podcast. Welcome back. I am Tyler Kotowski.
I'm Tyler Penner. This is episode 8.
Yep. Before we start, like and subscribe. Right now, do it where you're listening or where you're watching, and then leave a little review that is 5 stars and says we're handsome. That helps a lot.
Absolutely.
That being said, sorry, go ahead.
No, do it. Just make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We know that you're watching right now.
Yep.
TK hacked the mainframe the other day. We have your IP address. We know who you are. Hit the like and subscribe button or shit is going to go down.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, that being said, this week brought to you by Rumors Comedy Club.
Absolutely.
Number one comedy club in Canada.
Number one comedy club in Canada. I think a top 10 club in North America.
I'd say worldwide, because where else is comedy really popping overseas?
It's true.
So check it out. Shows Tuesday through Saturday.
I'm going to be there next week, Tuesday, depending on when you're listening to this, June 3rd and June 4th. And then after me is who?
Mark Forward.
Canadian comedy legend.
And our friends at Rumors have provided us with 2 sets of 2 tickets for 4 total tickets to Mark Forward.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
4 free tickets.
9:45.
Saturday night late show. The late shows are always the banging ones, honestly.
So if you are listening to this, the contest is already up on our Instagram. And so go and do it there, and you can win some tickets to Mark Forward.
Like and follow the account, right?
Yep.
And then and tag some people in the comments who you want to go to the show with.
Whomst you would bring.
And then we are going to, what, is it random draw or are we picking it up like dictators?
We'll throw it at a robot.
Okay.
We'll throw it at a robot.
Sounds good.
And then we'll DM you. Don't fall for the fake counts. Because this leads us into, we should say, there's some other prairie dogs out there.
There's other prairie dogs floating about.
We got tagged in a post from an Irish camper van festival. Well, it's a festival that merges the cultures of camper van and music and arts.
Totally. It's a bunch of people in vans, living in their vans, who want to gather together and play folk music.
Yeah. And so Irish folk band, the Prairie Dawgs, are playing this year.
Totally. Who have such a limited social media following, they actually tagged our podcast. So guess what? We're going to the fucking camper van festival in Ireland.
The boys are going to Dublin.
We're going to Dublin.
I think it'd be
worldwide.
Fun. I think it'd be fun if they expected a little old, shillelagh day.
Yeah, totally.
And then we show up and we're like, Winnipeg's a crazy place.
Man, no, the traffic's really bad though. And the potholes. They're like, play your little tunes. What happened to the tunes? I'm like, oh, no, but like the roads though. Crazy.
I thought we'd hired the Prairie Dogs. Hey, dead, it's us.
Yeah.
We're the dogs.
We're the dogs. We're doing a live podcast from your little van festival here.
And thank you for having us. We love camper vans.
Yeah.
We do sort of have that in common. Winnipeg and I think Manitoba, I'm not sure which one it is specifically, are big fans of those bowler campers.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably seen them out and about. They're kind of just like these little 70s style little cubbies. It's like a little kitchenette, basically. That you attach to the back of your car, but they're Manitoba made.
Yeah.
And they're very popular.
They're Manitoba made?
Yeah.
They're making bowlers in Manitoba?
That is where they're made.
Really?
Not only are they making them there, this is where they're, I don't know if they have them other places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because like everyone across the world has them.
Well,
they're coming from Manitoba?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
At least there's, I don't know.
Bowler hood.
Yeah, they appeal to a new generation with a retro look and minimal weight. Bowlers, send me a free bowler.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by bowlers yet, but send us each a bowler, okay? Because these sponsorships are kicking ass so far.
I would love to do one episode in a bowler.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We got the oven on. We're trying to blow it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Seeing what we can get away with.
Totally.
Here's what I wanted to say. I've been cooking this story. I've been saving this story. I mentioned it in our group chat. I just said, I got a story. And then I had to sit on it all week because I realized I have no one else to tell this story to.
Yeah.
And that these guys are in all the other group chats I'm a part of. So then I immediately went to the other group chat to be like, oh my God. And then I was like, oh, well, they're going to hear it here then. If I tell it.
100%.
So this is it.
Oh, shit. Look out.
I had a hard swallow there. I apologize.
No.
How many times have you been in traffic? Not done. Not done.
Once or twice.
Not done. And something happens where you're like, where's a fucking cop?
Oh shit,
when you need
dude.
one.
Not a lot. That has not happened to me many times where I've wanted a cop to back me up. I mean, maybe today when I was on the way over here, I was trying to get through the Pride Parade traffic. Yeah, exactly. Totally. I'm late for the podcast. Cops, clear a path. But anyways.
Okay, so maybe just me, but I'm in traffic. I am going down a street in which there is 2 lanes. And the left lane is straight or left turn only.
Sure.
The right lane is right turn only.
Okay.
At the lights.
What intersection are you talking about?
Reinders and Pegwis.
Oh, okay.
There's a Costco right there.
Yeah, sure.
And so the left lane, which is, again, straight or left turn only, is backed up so far. So far. Imagine, if you don't know the intersection, imagine turning onto a street and you just go, oh, fuck me in my face.
Fuck
you know
me
what I mean?
In the mouth.
Immediately, you know you're delayed 10, 15 minutes, whatever the case is.
Yeah, man.
I go, let me get in the right lane. I'll blast all the way down to the intersection. I'll turn right. I'll then U-turn.
Hell yeah.
And that's a left-hand turn.
Yeah.
And it'll be faster than that massive line.
That's just good strategy.
Even if I have to wait to do the U-turn, it's still going to be much quicker.
100%.
So I go, let's rock, let's roll. There's just one truck in front of me. We get up to the light. The light turns red. No problem. It's right turn only. We're both going to turn right on this red.
Yeah.
Oh, I love turning right on red.
Oh,
few things I love more.
Yeah.
The only thing I love more than turning right on red is having $100. So
it is a good feeling knowing
you could do fucking anything with $100.
Well,
or were you going to say that you could turn right on red?
That you can turn right on red. Yeah.
Well, that's even on lights that you can't turn right on red with $100. You could show a cop and be like, "I'm going to turn right on red."
Quick side quest.
Yeah.
Can you turn left on red if it's a one-way?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
One way onto one way.
Okay, cool.
As long as you don't pass another lane of traffic.
Okay, cool.
Like on Broadway, anyway, if you have more traffic questions, let me know.
The more you know. I don't know how to drive, so this helps.
So I get up to the light. I'm behind one truck at a red light, right-hand turn only. I'm waiting, but alas, he is not turning right. So I go, meet me, gentle honk. I have a gentle honk button on my car that sounds like Marvin the Martian.
Half volume.
Meet, the little Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And so just like, hey, and he doesn't turn. So I go, meet. And then I'm giving him like a hand signal, like, hey, you gotta go right.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
That's Jerry Seinfeld described that honk as like the throat clear of honks,
perfect.
where it's like,
That's exactly what I was doing. I was just clearing my car's little throat.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Before I really let a scream out of my car's throat.
100%.
So then I did. I yelled out of my car's throat a little bit. Honk. Nothing. So then I go, honk, honk. Unroll my window. And I go, you have to turn right here. And I got my hand out the window a little bit, but I'm also yelling, you have to go right here. Nothing.
Any profanities?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay tuned for profanities.
Hell yeah.
So now I'm on his bumper. I pull up a little bit closer. Now I'm like pulling as close as I can to be like, we should be going. Honk, honk. Now I got my head out the window and I'm going, you have to turn right here, you fucking asshole. You have to turn right and you know you have to turn right, you prick. Because he did. I knew it. Because I knew exactly what he was going to do. The light was going to turn green. He was going to blast into the left lane real quick and skip that whole lane of traffic.
Sure.
I knew it because I'd seen it done 1,000 million times. I live in this area.
Yeah.
So I'm honking. Nothing. I just finally I'm resigned to this guy's just a dumb piece of shit. Throw my hands up. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I give him the finger.
Yeah.
Light turns green. Sure enough, he blasts in front of that lane, goes straight into the Costco parking lot. I turn right, and as I'm turning right, I'm flipping him off and being like, fuck you, you're an asshole, I hate you. And then from behind me, whoop, whoop, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting pulled over for flipping that guy off right now.
Oh, shit, dude.
That was my first thought. It didn't even occur to me that what he just did was illegal. My thought was like, there's no way I'm getting pulled over for just screaming at this guy right now.
Yeah. But
I was not. He was getting pulled over.
Oh,
for not turning right at the fucking right turn only.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was celebrating like Donkey Kong. I was throwing barrels onto the road.
Hell yeah.
Kidnapping Italians. It was awesome.
Nice.
Felt so good. I literally, in my car, I cheered. I was like, yes. I clapped. Then I did my U-turn like I was going to do anyway. And then I thumbs upped him as he was getting his ticket. Because also, in the moment, I was trying to be rude. I was trying to be an aggressive asshole.
Sure.
By going, get the fuck, go. Fuck you. I'll kill you.
Yeah.
But then, in hindsight, it's like, I warned you.
I told you what would happen.
If you would have listened to me, the omniscient God and benevolent in most cases.
Yeah.
You would not have gotten a ticket.
That's what you should have yelled. You should have driven past him and been like, I was trying to help you. You
I
know?
should have driven by and been like, my brother's a fucking cop. Or whatever. It just means nothing.
It's a fucking statey. Yeah, I you might have a road rage problem though. Do you have a road rage problem?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because we're on episode 8 now. I've heard at least 5 stories of you getting into confrontation in traffic.
Yeah, but let it be known that I won this one.
He won. Okay, that's a win.
Because people think road rage is just road rage, but there's winners and losers.
Sure.
Even if not, like, you don't have to get into a fight. And then it's like, he beat me up, so he wins or whatever. It's like if you can win the interaction.
Yeah.
Most of the time, interaction.
Yeah, most of the time it's a draw.
Yes.
Like, you both give each other the finger and then you drive yourself away. That's a draw. That's a no contest. You, though, you did the equivalent of knocking this guy out in the first round, really.
Yeah.
A cop pullover with a guy that you've been beefing with. Woo-wee.
It's nice. Feels really nice.
That feels good.
I don't know if I'll ever top that.
No, that's a legendary story. That's pretty good.
Not bad. But
And the thing is, you were blocking his view of the cop.
I didn't know the cop was there.
Okay, great.
Because if I knew the cop was there, I wouldn't have been yelling at this guy being like, I'm going to beat you up in front of your family, you goofy prick.
100%.
I didn't say that, but normally that's what I say. That's normally what I go to.
He probably saw you give him the finger. He doubled down on his illegality and then said, no, fuck you, watch this. I'm doing this. And the cop was like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. I like to think that from the cop's POV, he's going, he's right.
This guy's right.
He's still right. And now I'm yelling, I'm going, you're a prick. And the cop's like, he's kind of got a point still.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure the cop was like, as long as this guy doesn't get out of his car, I'm pulling that guy over.
Yeah, yeah. Is it illegal to give someone the finger or to scream at someone? Like if I'm next to a motorist and I go, hey, fuck you, you piece of shit, and there's a cop behind me. I mean, what, like public disturbance maybe, but I feel like that should be allowed.
I think in most cases, if you're in your car and you're screaming, the cop might just like light you up just to be like,
calm down.
Keep going. Yeah. Stop it. Shut up. Go to fucking work or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think if you stick your hand out the window, now they can actually ticket you for like, that's an improper signal.
Oh.
Which I know sounds insane, but I think that's actually something they can do.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because normally if your signal's broken, you unroll your window and you'd be like, I'm turning left or I'm turning right.
Oh, okay.
But if you're just being like, fuck you, world, it's like, what is this guy doing?
Improper use of hand signals.
Especially if like, I mean, I think that's if they're being nitpicky and being like, I am going to write you a ticket today.
Yeah. Okay.
But in my case, they were like, no, you're awesome. Actually, we love your podcast.
Yeah. They should have like a fucking, 1232. Just
was that a gun?
No, just a fine of just being an asshole in general. I know there's no way to enforce that, but wouldn't it be nice? You just see some guy being a dick and you're like, that's it, fucking 1232. Yeah. There you go. $100. Shut the fuck up.
That'd be not bad. Yeah. With like it increases to, it's $100 and then it's $200 and you got to go to a class where you just learn to be chill.
Yeah, exactly. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
They could hand that out to Karens and what's the male equivalent of Karen?
Men.
Yeah, totally. Some dad
all
just
men
giving
have that in them.
Just giving the servers shit at like a fucking Arby's or an Applebee's or something like that. And then
Dad
the cop just walks in there and boom, 1232. Shut the fuck up.
Has your dad ever done that?
What?
Caused a scene in a restaurant?
Oh, dude. My dad was the king of scenes.
Oh,
Maybe not in restaurants, but he was very nice and friendly. But if my dad felt disrespected or slighted or really annoyed or inconvenienced in any way, he would go. I remember one time we went to Superstore to buy us our first Nintendo 64.
Oh, no.
Right? So he went there with the flyer and they had a special price. It was like, $199. So he gets there and the thing costs $249. He's got an expired flyer. Dude, he let this guy have it. He's like, why do you have it in the fucking flyer if it's not that fucking price? And it's supposed to be a happy day for me and my brother. We're standing around with like, we're getting a 64. Dad's losing it in the Superstore. Crazy.
Yeah, my mom was usually more that person. My dad was pretty chill. The only time my dad ever really like flipped out, really in any sense, like in some cases was working like 2 jobs, would be out like 16 hours of the day working and then sleeping the other 8 and going back to work, and would still be like, sometimes he'd be like, hey, you woke me up.
Yeah.
And he'd be like upset, but he would not be like angry. But one time I called my brother the N-word and my brother's not black. And I don't know if that matters, but my dad was napping in the other room, and he woke up so quickly, came in and was just like, "Wow, off!" He was like, "Don't ever say that shit again."
Nice. Okay.
He was like, "Where'd you learn that?" And I was like, "Ryan." And he was like, "Wow, off! Don't ever teach him that shit again." That was the end of it. I never really said it again.
Never said it again until today.
Until Macklemore started doing it in his songs.
Yeah, and now you say it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I used to shit on my dad and my parents in general for not being able to regulate their emotions.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realize now that, when did they have time? They were fucking working 16 hours a day. And then, like you said, going home, eating a quick meal, sleeping, and then doing the whole thing over again, just trying to stave off bankruptcy for another 2 weeks. So, they didn't have really time to look inward. You know what I mean?
And they were probably like your age now.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is crazy to think. That's like, I'm exhausted now and I don't even do other stuff. And they had like 2 kids and
Totally
doing all this other stuff. Like,
no, my parents were like mid-20s, dude. And they were like fucking, they were grinding out a house, other familial obligations. And I'm like, I don't know, you were kind of mean to me. They're like, bro, do you know how fucking hard we had to work to put broccoli on the table?
You know how many hours of work a Nintendo 64 is?
Yeah, totally. I'm sorry I never had time to fucking read Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud. I didn't know that. So anyways.
I only know Donkey Kong. Do we have that yet? So so Dad, do we get the system or no?
Yeah. Yeah. No, my dad, that's honestly the only, mental mentor that my dad had was like fucking Don Cherry.
Mental
my dad
mentor.
He loved Don Cherry.
That is a mental mentor to have.
He is. Don Cherry still alive?
Oh man, I hope not.
No, why? Don Cherry's a legend, dude.
Legend at what?
Legend at ranting about
I was
hockey.
going to say, just at ranting.
Just at ranting. He's the best.
He's 91 years old. No, he's kicking, dude.
He's kicking? Nice. Okay.
I think his dog died, though.
Oh, shit. Blue.
That ugly fucking rat.
The dog was nice. What are you shitting on Grapes for? He was awesome.
At what? Like ranting? He's fucking, this guy's Sam Kinison, but he only knows about hockey.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, Sam Kinison would be a fun hockey announcer.
Yeah, totally.
Oh! Shifley in the corner!
Missed an open net. I don't know. Maybe shoot the puck.
Yeah. I want to say, that's a clean fucking hit!
That would be he'd be great.
They should. I've always said this, and I mean, I understand why they don't do it, but it's like, have one guy on.
Yeah.
That's just like, hey, what's that guy doing?
Yeah. Dude, that actually is a great idea to have a hockey broadcast team and then stick one guy on there who knows nothing about hockey. And then these guys have to explain it to that one dude.
Not a bad, legit idea.
Yeah,
honestly. Like, okay, do it preseason. Call it, hey, we're doing layman night.
Yeah.
On preseason, where you can tune in, and the commentary is going to explain the game to you.
Yeah.
So that you can enjoy the sport.
Honestly,
I would watch that.
I would watch that too, because there's a lot of things that like that guy could ask. He'd be like, "Hey, those 2 guys in front of the net." He cross-checked them like 4 times, and they never called it. And then that other guy cross-checked him once, and then he got a penalty. What's going on?
It would reveal a lot of
totally.
Yeah, just ambiguity in the rules.
Yeah, and then they would be like, "Well, they kind of let it go in front of the net. You have a lot of leeway, but that one over there, it was kind of just like basketball. They could do that too."
Mm-hmm. I would watch it for like sports. I don't know. I would like to watch Australian rules football.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because it's on TV and I'm watching it, and it's like, let me get the dummy broadcast.
Yeah, because it looks sick. I don't know what's going on.
No clue.
Yeah.
Racing, I get it.
Totally.
That'd be a fun one to have the layman broadcast.
Yeah.
Where they go, so they're going fast?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they're turning left.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, it's fast again?
So then they sell hot dogs in the concession?
Yeah. I would personally like that for basketball, because I got questions there.
Yeah, why don't you get?
Hey, boys, why was that not a travel? He took 15 steps to the hoop and slam dunked it. Why did they not call that?
Yeah, that would be bad look for the NBA, because then they'd have to go, okay, so that player, he's called LeBron.
Yeah.
And now he's allowed to do things the other players are not.
Yeah.
And you're like a globetrotter? And they go, no. Like a cheater.
like a cheater. They let him cheat so that he can dunk the ball, and it looks good and people are happy.
which
Yeah.
I sort of agree with.
I sort of agree with too.
I
Let
do.
him get away with it.
Especially on some plays, it's kind of like, who
Yeah.
gives a shit?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Basketball really is the softest of the big sports, eh? Like they're not. I would.
baseball not
I mean,
not tough.
No, not really great either. But they're having bench clearing brawls at least.
That's true. They do rush the mound. I like that.
They rush the mound. They're throwing
Every now
punches.
and then, though, basketball. They just put a documentary on Netflix called "Shooting Guards," and I thought it was just about like the position,
Okay, yeah.
shooting guards, but it is apparently about an incident where two players pulled guns on each other.
Oh, in the game,
in the dressing room.
Oh shit! In the
Yeah, on
the court. Ball in one hand, gun in the other. Like, try to defend this.
That's very good.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I mean,
What do you mean? They
I didn't watch it because I don't care for. I usually just like curling, but
sure.
apparently, yeah, there was some sort of gun-based incident.
Boys, save it for the game. Good Lord.
Yeah, you don't hear a lot about that in hockey.
No, not a lot of gunplay.
Yep.
A lot of, well, other stuff, but not gunplay.
Yep. Wiener play.
A lot of wiener play. Too much wiener play.
Yep.
What was I going to say, though, about basketball? Fuck, dude. Yeah, football's hard. Hockey's really hard. Baseball has moments of hardness. But apparently, and I've watched some documentaries on YouTube, credible source, where they're saying that, yeah, like it's almost basketball, and I don't watch basketball. So, hey, basketball fans, get in the chat, and you let me know if I'm out to lunch here.
Dribble into the chat, players.
Yeah, totally. Get into the key. Is that a term?
Yep.
But, yeah, apparently it's getting almost as bad as soccer with the flopping and the flipping and the diving. Andy Noble, big basketball fan, told me that. That it's like that LeBron's just flipping and flopping all over the place, acting like he got shot just to get the free throws.
Something not mentioned, though, is that he is 85 years old now.
And balding.
Yeah, so it's like if you hit him, he might be like, oh, that actually hurt me more than it would have 10 years ago.
No, I'm not faking it. This stuff just hurts now.
That's all I'm saying.
My bones.
Here's the last thing I wanted to say, probably, maybe, and then we'll do a story.
What? Whoa, what time is it?
We're cooking, I think.
Oh, yeah, we're at half an hour again.
Yeah, and then cut a little bit off of that because we were just rambling off the top. That's actually not for them, but
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But after this, it'll be yeah. So last week we were outside of the pod, just debriefing as we do.
Debrief.
And what drives by, what monstrosity of a vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
I've come to find out these are called pedal pubs.
Pedal pubs.
So you're all pedaling, and you can drink on it, and you just sing "Party in the USA," and you just drive around downtown. Letting men look up your skirt, as I understand it.
Yeah, really just causing a ruckus, it's a bit of a disturbance, those things.
They're on the streets.
Yeah.
They're all drunk driving, collectively. Yeah. It's like if everyone was on a bus and they were all drunk, but they all had a steering wheel.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just allowed?
And they're getting hammered, so they're all really drinking and driving. Really. That's like a good 12 DUIs in one shot. If I was a cop... Yeah, exactly. If I was a cop, I'd be like, fuck yeah, quota bang. Let's do it.
So how am I not allowed to say, fuck you, illegal signal, but these guys are allowed to, party in the USA down the freeway?
I know. It doesn't seem right. And you know what? I didn't handle that situation because I was with him. It rolled by. I figured, hey, man, I'll film a little content. So I pull out my phone. I'm filming them. It'll make a funny story. I'll tell them to shut up or something. It'll be funny. No, I'm just filming a bunch of women it was not a good look.
Content.
Yeah, and I looked back at the footage. A lot of them looked at me. They looked unsettled, and the video is now deleted. Those things are you ever seen a guy drive around? He's got a little bike and then a little trailer, and it's a massive speaker with a ton of LED lights, and he just drives around Osborne Village blasting dubstep.
I don't care for that.
He's just like, and it's like the middle of the day, and he's just biking around, spreading joy to the neighborhood.
He's spreading.
He's spreading something.
He's fucking spreading. I'll tell you that much. We should use the sulfur gas to get rid of that guy. Like the groundhogs they were going to do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Some malathion for the bike dubstep guy.
Yeah, that's a sucky personality to have.
Yeah, and dubstep is one of the suckiest genres of music, I think. I don't mind EDM, that techno stuff.
There's almost no combination that I can think of that's worse.
Yeah.
Be a unicycle Euro swing guy.
Yeah, no, totally. Unicycle. Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, put on rollerblades and listen to ska.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
The bike with the big wheel and the small wheel and then ska. Yeah, exactly.
Or the one thing that's a platform with the one wheel in the middle.
Yeah, totally.
And then K-pop.
Yeah, I know.
Amaretto. I know Japanese.
Yeah. Konnichiwa?
Yeah, brother.
Totally.
That'd be me in Japan. Yeah, brother.
Hiroshima.
I'd be like, you're good at that. Fuck, you're good at Japanese.
Nagasaki. They're like, please. Yeah, dubstep was a weird genre of music that just popped up. What was that? Mid 2000s, late 2000s,
And it's
2010.
not pleasant.
It's not pleasant. It's the most. I mean, I'm into the metal. I'm into the heavy shit. I know annoying, inaccessible music. It doesn't touch that dubstep stuff.
I would sooner listen to Regurgitated Gurgitate.
Yeah,
Those guys go way harder,
hell yeah.
despite being just noise. Noise music I would rather listen to.
Noise, yeah.
You ever see those guys freaking out?
Yeah.
You gotta check out noise music online if you haven't. Yeah.
Actually, there's a pretty decent noise scene in Winnipeg. There's a guy named BP, Brett Parenteau, who does a lot. He's heavily enmeshed in the Canadian/American noise scene.
Does he ever do like poop stuff or mayo stuff or no?
He does harsh noise stuff. I don't think poop shit. I don't think tomato shit, but he does. I think he does the mic and some synths. But
That's
it's
fine.
It's all because there's
Doesn't make sense to me, but it's fine.
Totally. There's a thing called harsh noise wall, and there's bands like the Cherry Point and Vomir, where literally it's a 55-minute album, and the whole thing is people listen to this.
Could I put that on for someone who is a fan, and would they be able to tell me who it is?
Yeah, you might.
Interesting.
It's weird tones.
Then I respect it. Hey,
Yeah.
if you can tell me if it sounds like, noise, it's literally called noise and it just sounds like noise. If I can put it on and you go, "Oh, that's my boy Keith."
Yeah.
Then I'm like, "Holy shit." Hey, props to Keith then. You know what?
Dude, that's Keith.
Keith has really found his voice with that chainsaw.
Totally. Classic Keith. Check it out. That's all Keith. And some of this art house music, it is like kind of jerking off, I think, but some of it is actually cool. This one guy, he took a recorder. He went into a basement somewhere.
A recording
device.
Sure.
Yeah, not hot cross buns.
So I was thinking.
Shout out Tim Gray. He took like a tape recorder and he recorded a silent basement, right? And then he took the tape that recording was on, and then he played it in that same basement and then recorded that. And then he took that tape and played it in the basement and he recorded that. And he did this so many times in this silent basement that eventually that noise was like, you know what I mean?
I've done that with a fart.
Oh, dude. Keith has a new tape.
Yeah, this one's called pork. He's got different just vegetables that he's eating.
Yeah. Zucchini. This is zucchini tips.
I know a guy who once told me about the idea of like, I guess they were moving out of a family home and he was going to record the sound of the door closing for like the last time.
Oh, yeah.
As they get out of the family home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, don't you have to go back in and get the recording then?
Yeah.
And then close the door again?
You just ruined your own art project,
Right?
bro.
Or like you just recording it from the outside, because then you can just do any door.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You just pick a door and do it. What are you trying to...
No one's going to know.
Hey, Keith, what are you trying to accomplish with this piece? It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Sometimes
You're a hack.
Yeah, it's just for you, where they go, oh, these are the same shoes that this lady wore in the original version of this play for this movie. And I go, oh, okay, but so did they fit even, or you just did it to fucking do it?
Yeah. No, 100%.
Better be good. It better be so good.
No.
Okay.
I got nothing.
All right,
I got nothing.
We'll go to
cut that
story
out.
time then. We'll go to story time.
Okay, cool.
This is a good one. This is a pretty interesting one. I keep finding more people. The more I look into people, the more I'm like, that guy's from here. This guy's from here.
Yeah, man.
Paula Abdul's mom from Manitoba.
Paula Abdul's mom?
Paula Abdul's mom is just a nice Manitoba Jew, as I recall.
Oh, shit.
And in trying to Google that now very quickly, I typed Manitoba Jew.
What's
Because that is what I said, and it came out in my fingertips.
tobajews.com.mb.ca.
I am the admin of that site.
What was that banger song that Paul Abdul had back in the day? Hit me up. Oh,
She
fuck.
just had one, I think.
Yeah, can you look that up actually real quick? It's going to drive me crazy.
Straight up now, tell me, do you
Yes.
really wanna love me forever? Yeah, that's a banger. People forget.
That is a really good song.
And it's a shame because that was far enough removed from popularity that by the time like I saw her on American Idol for the first time, I
Yeah.
was just like, who the fuck is that old wench?
Exactly.
Like-
I know. Now everyone thinks, oh, Paul Abdul, that booze hound on American Idol. Not the case.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
she's a drunk now.
Oh yeah, dude. She was hammered on that show like every second episode. I'm like, she's fucking wasted again. But dude, she actually had a legit banger 80s dance tune. It was great.
Yeah, so just to wrap that up, her mom, Lorraine Rikes, is a concert pianist of Jewish heritage from Minnedosa, Manitoba.
Oh shit. Huh.
That's where she got her musical background from.
All right. Hey, get in the chat if you're Paula Abdul. Let us know. Because you're from here, so you're probably watching the podcast.
Yeah, I do want to actually love her forever. Okay,
Yeah.
picture this. This is our story this week.
Straight up, now tell me.
A young buck from Point Douglas.
Yeah.
A youngling from Point Douglas.
Point Douglas.
North Point Douglas, if I must specify.
Is that
Orphan. Let's go ahead.
Sorry, is that hardcore territory? Point Douglas?
It's pretty rough out there. Yeah,
It's a
that's
little
like
rough.
that rough section of waterfront down towards the edge there, and kind of in that area.
Euclid area. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, so
Sure.
a young man from Point Douglas. He's an orphan at a young age, adopted. Just a little guy, not a very big boy, sort of undersized for his age, with a bit of a liking for radio transmission technology. Just a young buck in the hood, just toying with radios. Oh, I love radios.
Weird kid.
Ends up running an international spy network from an office in the Rockefeller Centre.
What?
Winston Churchill's personal spy master, perhaps the inspiration for James Bond, and trained the CIA before it even existed.
Point Douglas. Represent. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, so we're gonna dig in to William Stephenson,
Wow.
not to be
Okay.
confused
with
early episode
Wilhelm.
Wilhelmer Stephenson.
Dude.
Not to be confused with also a man who we will meet later called William Stephenson, who wrote a book about William Stephenson.
Wow.
It's a circle within a circle.
We're 8 episodes in. We've got 3 same characters.
Yeah. Sir William Samuel Stephenson, CCMC DFC.
What?
So he's got a Order of Canada.
Okay.
That's the CC.
Okay.
He's got a Military Cross. That's the MC.
Okay.
He's got the Distinguished Flying Cross. That's the DFC.
Oh,
He
shit.
gets all of those like he's a doctor sort of thing.
He's got a PDC?
No.
Prairie Dawgs cost?
Oh,
Cross?
I thought you were gonna say pretty decent cock. Maybe probably had one of those.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's born 23rd of January 1893. Died the 31st of January 1989.
All right.
So 92 years old.
Oh,
Had
92.
a hell of a life.
You think you're going to get to the 90s?
No,
No, me neither.
no, I don't think people get there anymore.
I think a high 70s.
I'd love that.
That'd be
That'd
good.
be perfect.
We'll
Yep.
take that.
Yep. So he's best known by his wartime intelligence codename Intrepid. Gay. Pick a cool one.
Yeah.
Warhammer. Cock solder.
Yeah.
Regurgitated gurgitate.
Hell yeah. Intrepid. Sounds like a car.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like cool though to just have like a single like Prince.
Yeah,
You know?
honestly.
Have a symbol. Just be a symbol.
yeah.
That'd be
Sorry,
cool.
Yeah, that was his code name?
That was his code name.
Okay, cool.
Many, consider him to be one of the real life inspirations for James Bond. Ian Fleming, whom William Stephenson worked with.
Hmm.
Ian Fleming wrote James Bond, was the author behind the James Bond
Oh, cool.
novels, and worked with William Stephenson, and once said that James Bond is a highly romanticized version of a true spy. The real thing is William Stephenson.
Oh, shit. So he did influence James
So
Bond.
this guy is, for all intents and purposes, the inspiration for James Bond.
Well, look
And
at
if
that.
not James Bond, they say very likely the influence for M, who is like Bond's boss in the movies and novels
Yeah,
and
totally.
things of that nature. So they said it might have been sort of this person very directly influenced Ian Fleming to write those novels, whether it's him as that person, or all of these traits kind of looped into.
Totally. And you were the influence for Jason Bourne, right?
Yes. Well, Jason Bourne, actually, the real man behind Jason Bourne, spent the first half of his life making denim.
Making jeans. Classic Winnipeg.
Making jean shorts.
Totally. If you're making jeans right now in Winnipeg, look out, because you're in for big shit.
You're getting fucked.
You're getting fucked.
Yeah, man. So just a boy from Point Douglas goes to one of the world's top spies. Like I said, orphaned at a young age, adopted by the Stephenson family. So there's stroke of luck number one sort of thing.
Totally.
Still raised in poverty in Point Douglas. Like I said, a pretty undersized guy, small stature, but was, they said, a gritty, smart kid.
Yeah.
That had a lot of mechanical skill. Loved to tinker with radios, things of this nature.
I mean, how small was he? Why is that a point of note? This kid is
I guess just to
tiny?
say that it's like he wasn't a big boy, easily picked on, perhaps.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. He's
know?
kind of bullied and he got into radios. He's like,
Yeah, I think they're just trying to tell you that he's a classic nerd.
Classic
Just
geek.
a bit of a dork. Yeah.
Totally.
So World War I comes around. He becomes a fighter pilot. He gets shot down and taken prisoner in 1918.
Wow. Fighter pilot in World War I. Rare breed.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, especially with like rare breed as far as survivors.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, taken prisoner, comes back after the war, reinvents himself as a technological innovator and entrepreneur. So
Yeah. Sorry, just getting back
Yeah,
though, because
of course.
in World War I, those fighter planes, they were made out of fucking toilet
Tinfoil.
paper. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Like one bullet, one stiff breeze. Those planes were like, so to survive that, impressive.
they used to say, there's another story I'll tell on a later episode of a guy from Winnipeg also who survived in one of the little fighter. They used to tuck him into these little balls under the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And they would be in there like.
Oh, yeah.
And a guy in one of those survived a crash.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
dude.
fully in the ball, which is like
That's insane.
nuts. But yeah,
Yeah.
they were not made of
No.
the good stuff.
No, they were made of Lego and chewing gum.
They would say often, it's a bit of a gruesome story, but they said they would sometimes clean those things out with just like high pressure hose, because it would just be like, that guy just got fucking splattered in there.
Oh, okay,
In
cool.
Those little gunner balls sort of thing.
Okay.
Right? It's like, just hose your friend out of there.
Hose the friend out.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
So he made a shitload of money on a radio facsimile transmission patent. So basically the precursor to a modern fax machine
Oh, sick.
and encrypted communication.
Nice.
So his love of tinkering and radio and transmission and communication kind of starts to pay off in that sense. Becomes an international businessman through that, with ties in Britain and the U.S. A perfect cover for what would come next.
Oh, shit. You know what? Being an inventor would be dope, man. You have any ideas? Come up with a little patent and then just make a shit ton of money?
You know what the problem is that they always say, like, you're not inventing something, you're solving a problem.
Okay.
Or at least on Shark's Tank, they say that.
Yeah.
That they want to have felt like, what problem are you solving with your product?
Yeah.
Does it need to be solved? Are you presenting a solution, or do you just like have a thing that you wanted to make?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bra, it holds the titties higher. Like what problem is that? We already have those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, maybe I'm just trying to think of ideas because I got to find a way to make money that is outside of a 9 to 5. So my dream job is to invent some tiny little clip or some rubber band that you stick to something. You invent that, and then big Google comes along or Apple or something, and
that's
is
the
like,
dream.
fuck, we need this. Let's just buy them out. Fuck this. That's pretty good. Let's just take that because it's close to ours. Boom, here's $2 million. And I'm like, see ya.
Yeah, that's nice. I
That'd be sick.
can't remember if we talked about this on one of the episodes that came out or one of the ones that's in the vault forever. But my brother once sold his Instagram handle for a bunch of money.
That's right. What was the handle?
Internet money.
Internet money. That's a good one.
Yeah, every now and then I check on them. I don't think they're doing anything with it. So it's like, you got fleeced,
You got believed.
dumb fucks.
Idiot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the code name Intrepid comes in as he becomes, in 1940, Winston Churchill's hand-picked personal intelligence liaison to President Roosevelt.
Ooh.
So Churchill's overseas using Stephenson to communicate with Roosevelt.
Damn, dude.
Yep.
This guy's hobnobbing with some big boys.
Big time, big time. So he ran the British Security Coordination, BCS, from the Rockefeller Centre in New York City. So technically neutral U.S. territory. And so that office became a headquarters for British and Canadian intelligence operations across the Western Hemisphere. So you got the Rockefeller Centre, and then kind of just like quietly tucked in up top is this guy doing pre-CIA operations.
Damn,
effectively.
dude.
Yeah.
30 Rock.
He's rocking, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the office operated under the cover of the British passport control, but had hundreds of operatives working out of it.
Okay.
So, you know, like luckily, I guess no one ever popped up to be like, I need me British passport.
Hey, I heard you can get a passport here.
And they're like, no, dude, we're researching Hitler.
Yeah, we're listening to Hitler right now.
So they were doing things like sabotaging Axis supply chains, intercepting and decoding Nazi communications, feeding intelligence to pro-Allied journalists, and setting up front companies and media influence networks.
Okay, cool.
So he coordinated surveillance, propaganda, recruitment, full-service espionage enterprise on U.S. soil years before America officially entered the war.
Hell yeah. Operation Kanye.
A little bit like that.
Cool. Nice.
Well, yeah, sort of. Well, the reverse, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Operation Take Down Kanye.
Yeah. Operation Kanye East.
So this is an excerpt from a dispatch he sent to Churchill in late 1940. It says, quote, "The tide of sentiment in Washington sways day by day. We must not underestimate the forces of isolation. I suggest immediate intensification of operations designed to shape American opinion by indirect influence, editorial, academic, and commercial. The urgency grows."
Also, Winston, have you heard of keto? It's a good way to lose weight. Fasting, intermittent or alternate day, can lead to significant results. I'm not hinting at anything. I'm just saying. And communication. Sorry.
Winston, I've attached a mixtape. Noise band Keith. Yeah, so he's basically just saying like, hey, I think we need to start to like push the American people to maybe understand better what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Without saying so directly, because from the president to be like, look what's happening over there, we got to go over there.
Yeah.
That looks a little bit bad. So we're talking like a little bit like psyop stuff potentially.
Sure.
Like maybe we put out some folk musicians or some guy mentions it offhand, you know, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
Really subtly plant the seeds of like, should we be going to war?
Yeah, sure. Like a podcast if we were talking about, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Use the Prairie Dogs and be like, hey, should we attack them? Should we bomb them? Get in the chat if you think that we should ramp up military efforts and maybe, I don't know, invade France.
Some guys are for sure being paid to say,
oh, 100%.
wonky war stuff.
Yeah.
Not us.
No. But Jocko Willink and like those guys.
I've never heard that guy.
What's that other guy's name? He's always talking about that.
Tim Dillon.
No, yeah. Oh, Tim Dillon's the Lord. But there's another guy who's always on every podcast, and he's like, and then I was in Iraq, and one time we killed all these guys, and I had my knife, and then I cut the guy's head off, and then I hopped on the Apache, and I cut that guy's head off, and it was crazy.
Those guys might think they're tough, but I would get them pulled over for going straight through a right only.
Totally. Yeah, and they couldn't handle my fucking harsh noise tape.
So I might have mentioned. No, sorry.
Go ahead.
I might have mentioned this offhandedly in the Tommy Prince episode, but Canada were like, dope spies in the wars. Mm-hmm. They were known as like real good spies. Camp X was near Whitby, Ontario, and was founded in 1941 under Stephenson's guidance. And it was North America's first spy training facility. It trained British, American, Canadian agents in sabotage, surveillance, and interrogation.
Oh, shit.
Cool. CIA
shit.
School.
Honestly.
So it directly influenced the formation of the OSS, which was the precursor to the CIA. So,
dude, I had no idea, dude. All right. Hell yeah. Canada's kicking the
crazy.
It's
crazy. Game. Graduates of Camp X were deployed behind enemy lines throughout Europe. So you'd graduate and they'd be like, get out there.
Yeah.
It's like, I think they maybe do like doesn't Austin Powers graduate spy school in the movies?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
So it's kind of like, I mean, they're doing a goofy version because I was just thinking in my head, like, this would be a good, like, funny movie. And then I said, oh, they did that.
Yeah.
He shags everyone.
Yeah.
So they played, Canadians, this is, played a major role in code breaking So they were hosting branches of British intelligence services in Ottawa and Montreal to be like, hey, come learn about how you break codes.
How to break codes, yeah.
RCMP collaborated on internal security, uncovering Nazi and fascist cells within North America. So we were, a bit of an undercover ally and a lot of like literally kind of like spying and really staying under the radar.
That's sick. So the Canadian would then go to Europe, drop in Germany and be like, yeah, Heil Hitler, yeah, Hitler's great. And then he would get in there and then kind of relay information that Hitler's bad.
Yep.
Hitler's,
we got him.
Listen, just in, Hitler's not a good dude.
You guys, I think I got him on tape saying that Jews are bad. And they're like, yeah, we know. We know that's his thing.
We know that.
That's the one thing we know.
Kanye West has far right leanings. All right,
he's cloning 1,000 Kanyes.
Yeah.
What was I going to say now? The final thing. Oh, Canadian passports were used as cover often for intelligence agents to be like, I'm just a Canadian. I'm just a Canadian. I'm just a little Canadian.
See, that's actually a good reputation to have. People see a Canadian passport. Oh, you're harmless. You're weak and harmless.
And there's not.
You can't hurt me.
That's sort of what it is. It was the old Canadian patch on the backpack version of just like sneaking into war zones.
100%. Everybody likes you more. Everybody trusts you more. But don't.
So this guy's interesting because you don't hear a lot about him.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a mega super spy. Why would you,
Yeah. Under the radar, these types.
And he very much liked it that way. He was awarded knighthood by King George.
God,
the 6th. What is a V? V is 5?
V is 5.
So the 6th.
Okay.
And the Presidential Medal for Merit by Truman. He was the first foreigner ever to receive it.
Oh, shit. Point Douglas. Let's go.
Retired to Bermuda. Why not?
Weird.
Just nice. Enjoy the sun.
I know, but Nygaard?
Oh, is that where he was too? Makes you wonder.
Bahamas.
Oh, sure.
Okay, cool.
Bermuda,
All right.
And then a third guy retired to Come On Pretty Mama. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, Epstein.
So he ran a quiet communications company and refused most interviews and public appearances.
Oh, shit.
Like he didn't want, unlike his contemporaries, never wrote a memoir.
Yeah.
Gave few speeches, lived largely off the grid. There was a lot of money to be made by being like, and here's my spy exploits.
Here's my story. But he already had his patent money, so he was probably flush.
He believed silence was the final act of loyalty.
Wow.
That was a BCS operative quoted as him, sort of his thoughts on this sort of thing.
Dude, that's hard as hell, actually.
Super hard. Like, that's the most Winnipeg attitude ever.
Hell yeah.
Like, what do you know? He goes, I know nothing and I'll never know nothing. Shut up.
Dude.
I'm fishing in Bermuda.
There's fame and admiration and attention just waiting for him. This guy just walks right by it.
Declined to respond publicly even after Ian Fleming named him as the real-life inspiration for James Bond. People then wanted to be like, wow, is it true? We heard this. And he goes, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh,
leave me alone.
Man, dude, this guy's a badass. That's sick.
And deliberately destroyed personal papers before his death. It was like shredding stuff, correspondences, notes, records of wartime activities. When the CIA, M16, and Canadian government offered recognition, he accepted it privately and insisted no records be made to the public without his review.
What if this guy just had a massive Garfield hentai collection?
That's all it was. Burn it.
Everyone's like, wow, this guy's a true spy.
Don't ever let them see the tentacles.
Exactly.
Some letters released decades later showed that he had asked associates to avoid discussing his role in their memoirs or interviews.
Oh, shit.
So even people he knew writing books, he'd be like, please don't.
This guy's secretive as hell.
Yeah, dude. Died, like I said, age 92. He's got statues in Winnipeg, Ottawa, London, and Bermuda. He retired in Bermuda, old-ass CIA guy, and had enough of an influence out there that they were like, put up the man statue. Or whatever voice they have.
Yeah.
Inducted posthumously into Canada's Walk of Fame, formerly recognized by the CSIS and the CIA as a foundational figure in Allied intelligence.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Shout out CSIS watching this podcast right now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what a guy.
Yeah.
Super interesting in my opinion.
I think we are definitely, CSIS is definitely watching this episode. We've already hit their flags. Far right, we've said. Hitler, we've said. Spy, we've said.
Regurgitated, gurgitate.
We've said.
They're on a couple lists.
Keith.
Keith.
Garfield hentai.
Keith is
all right?
code. Keith is code for something nasty we don't know about.
Yeah. Cease's computer is blowing up right now because of the Prairie Dogs.
Yeah. So there was some debate over William Stephenson was a fellow who wrote a book called A Man Called Intrepid and did quite well. Some of the book's statements have been called into question. Some people, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. This is maybe not real. That's not real. Who gives a shit? He did do a lot of stuff.
He did a lot of stuff.
So even if some of the stuff in the book they're saying is exaggerated or untrue, it's because he shredded all the cool shit he did do. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
His
yeah.
impact is undeniable, and he didn't want things to be known about him.
He never went to that domo. That domo didn't even exist back in 53.
They never jumped to the pump back then.
Yeah. They would walk to the pump. People couldn't even jump back then. Jumping started in like 82. Fuck. All right.
It doesn't. He died on GoldenEye Estate.
What? Is that an accident or is that?
I don't know, because it would all have been called that when he died.
Yeah.
So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
He was also known as Little Bill. So I guess that to speak to how sort of small he was, maybe. He was Ratatouille sized for the viewers.
I know. Totally. How small was this fucking guy? Was he like?
He was also the influence for Stuart Little, that movie, because he was a tiny little mouse of a man.
He actually wrote the play "Honey, I Shrunk the Kids." It was about him.
He was given the title of Knight Bachelor. He is in the Companion of the Order of Canada. He's got a military cross, like I said, a medal for merit as well. Yeah, just a fucking dog. Only ever reached the rank of captain. I shouldn't say only, because I actually don't know how high that is.
Yeah.
But I don't think it mattered because he was busy doing spy shit.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, dude.
Dude, that brings us to the end of another one.
Damn, dude. Shout out William Stephenson, man.
Yep.
Just leading the spy game in Canada. Point Douglas, represent.
He has a statue in the city sculpted by Leo Mole.
Oh, shit.
Of Leo Mole's sculpture garden.
Yeah, dude. That place is dope, honestly.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if that, I can't remember exactly where that is. Look it up yourself, you fucking pigs.
Just
Who cares?
fucking Google it. What do we got to do? Everything around here?
Yep. Thanks again for watching. For listening.
Yeah, totally.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Rumors Comedy Club.
Rumors Comedy Club, honestly. Sponsoring the podcast because they like it and because they like us and we like them. And it's just a synergy.
Yep. And
It's
they
a
like our reach.
synergy.
Oh, they love our reach.
Oh, we got reach for days, dude.
Help us expand our reach by going to their shows, saying, hey, the Prairie Dawgs sent us.
Prairie Dawgs sent us to like get out. But yeah, we're giving away, like we said at the top of the show, if you've made it this far, Godspeed. We've got 4 free tickets to Mark Forward Saturday late show, 9:45 p.m. at Rumors Comedy Club. You're going to want to go see Mark Forward. He's one of the funniest dudes in Canada, in North America. This dude is a genius. So go check him out. Get in the comments. Say something. Tag your friend. Follow the account. Like the account. We will see it. You could be going to Rumors for free.
For free. And that's it. That brings us to the end of another one.
Hell yeah.
Like, subscribe, and tell your mom you love her.
Hell yeah. Love you guys.
Cool. Love you. Bye.
Sure.